Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news. I told you to be calm and yet here we are doing our first late night show of the summer transfer window. It's 11 p.m. in the UK and the Newcastle Football Club have just bid big for Sesko. Huge update coming in the last hour. I've resisted going live, but so many people have messaged me. I feel like I'm here to do Manchester United's job, really, which is to try and calm the fan base and give it some, perspective. We're not out of this race. We're not out of this race. Some people are saying we should go out of the race because the numbers are too big. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused here as to why we're out of the race and why the price is too big. 90 million euros is 69 million pounds in this circumstance because it's 80 million euros plus 10 and 80 million euros is 69 million pounds. So don't get lost in the euros nonsense. People are saying it's time to walk away. 80 million euros is 69.6 million pounds. That is what Newcastle have offered. 69.6 plus another 8 in add-ons. And people are going, 90 million euros is too much, walk away. Newcastle have offered 80 million euros plus 10 in add-ons, which is 69 million pounds plus 8 in add-ons. It's not walk away. It's not walk away. So first of all, start doing your calculations and stop working in euros and add-ons. It's fine. It's fine. And United can pay that price. What's happening here, though, and I have to say this is where it gets confusing, is that Newcastle are clearly and quite concerningly willing to try and blow us out the water on big bids. And interestingly, you'd question what Man United's strategy is because Leipzig are going to want big money. And if they get a bidding war and keep pushing the price up, which Newcastle can afford to pay because they're about to sell Isak, what was the strategy we had? Somebody is going to end up with egg on their face. Newcastle are going to look stupid because they've spent big money and not been able to get anybody. Or Man United are going to look stupid for getting into a race without a sword. And it will be embarrassing because let's be honest, this summer transfer window, Newcastle have been turned down more than a volume knob on a radio that's playing Ollie Murs. So they have been rejected a lot. And we have to, certainly take that on board. But we surely have a plan. We surely have a plan. That's all I can say. But let me just give you the news, actually, because a lot of people are saying, well, what is the news? So there's numerous bits here. So first of all, let's start off with where it all started. Basically, David Ornstein saying that Newcastle have made an improved bid for Benjamin Sesko. New offer is worth at least 80 million euros after positive talks between the club and the player. Nothing agreed, but Leipzig currently favour Newcastle. No proposal from Manchester United. Then Fabrizio Romano says Newcastle have sent an official bid to Leipzig worth 90 million euros package, 80 million euros plus 10. No decision from the player. Manchester United confirmed again to Leipzig that they will bid if Sesko picks them. So Man United are playing a power play. Leipzig want us to bid with Newcastle to get a bidding war going. United are saying we won't bid until Sesko says he wants us. Sesko may never say he wants us, by the way. Florian Plettenberg, who's in Germany, as is Leipzig, says Newcastle are now offering 90 million euros in total, 80 plus 10. However, Tuesday could be decisive. Newcastle want a decision, but Sesko has not communicated his choice. Manchester United are still there. Craig Hope, Daily Mail, says it is expected that tomorrow Sesko will make his decision. I think that is sort of where we are. Newcastle are pushing very hard. The unknown is what Man United's next move is going to be. Or in fact, the unknown is what is our move? It's not about what the next move is what our play is. So, look, a lot of people have been asking me for my opinion. I've gone live. Maybe people don't want it. Maybe people just want to share the community and get their comments in, and I'm sure that's great. My stance is, when I saw the David Ornstein tweet at 10 o'clock, and Matt and Beth were messaging me saying, this is going on, I said it's not really enough to go live on. We've just done the 8 o'clock show. I don't feel anything's there. I don't think anything's changed. Newcastle have put another bid in, which I would expect. United haven't reacted, and Sesko hasn't made his mind up. I think we are exactly where we were. What surprises me is that, well, look, first of all, honestly, I don't feel any different than I did on the 8 o'clock show. I still think he's coming to Man United. I think Newcastle are having a bloody good go, and I still think he's coming to Man United because, and I'll explain it again, why the bloody hell are we in this deal on a whim? Why have we got into this race if we didn't think we could win it? Why have we told David Ornstein last week that Sesko's our priority if we're not his? We know Newcastle have got loads of money. We know they could bid us out the water. So we must have been given an indication that he wants to come to us. So I'm still very confident on that. If we don't get him, then it's open season. On Barada, Wilcox, Sir Jim, the Glazers, of course it is. But it's not open season at the moment. We haven't lost this race. We haven't played our cards yet. I'll tell you what this is for me. This is a game of poker where Newcastle have played a really good hand and everyone's going, you're in trouble. And I'm going, we haven't even shown you our cards yet. Is there a hand that beats their hand? Well, yeah, there is, but they've got a really good one. I think we've got a hand to play here. And we better, I'll tell you what'll really piss me off is if we go and fold without showing our cards. And I know I'm talking in poker talk here, but folding means you don't show your hand. You just walk away. If we do that, I wonder what we're playing at. We've got to have a play here. But to all those people saying we should walk away is not worth it, bloody get yourself back to school and do some GCSE maths. We should walk away from a €90 million package. It's 80 million plus add-ons, and it's euros. It's £69 million. We always knew it was going to be around that because that's what it's always been quoted at. Why are people saying walk away for £69 million? I don't get it. Why? Why should we walk away? And also, remember, it has been reported by Romano and others that there is a special clause between Sesko and Leipzig that if it's deemed to be a special club, that price is reduced even better. So people are now saying, let's go for Watkins. You know what I think you are? I think you're scared. I think you're allowing your fear to cloud your judgment. And you know what you're doing? You're doing what Arsenal fans do. You're going, we never wanted him anyway. He's shit. Stay the course. Stay the course. This is like Braveheart when William Wallace is at the front and everyone's fighting and then some cowards piss off and leave them shorter. We're in this fight. Stop backing out. You're all bloody excited 3 days ago. We're in this fight. We're still in it. I'm not, let Newcastle be Kevin Keegan. We're not bloody Newcastle. We're Manchester United. We're still in this fight. We've not played our cards yet. Why are people backing out? Why are people saying walk away? Why are people saying he's not worth it? It's the same bloody price we were quoted last week. He's always been 69 million. I remember doing jokes about 69 million last week. So why are people saying walk away? Because you're scared. You're scared. You think we're going to lose, so you're trying to save face. You're saying things like, oh, he ain't worth it. Go and get a midfielder instead. Let Newcastle have him with his 13 Bundesliga goals. Come on, hypocrites. A few days ago, it was let's go and get him. Let's go and get him. This is the player United want. Go and get him. Simple as that. We're not backing out. You're not the CEO. I'm not the CEO. We're not backing out. We've told the world we want Sesko. If we lose, we're going to have to, accept that we've lost to a club that's been ghosted more time than than October 31st. I preferred the volume one better. We're going to have to take that defeat. But we haven't played our cards and people are panicking. People are panicking and we haven't even played our cards. Every single update for the last few days has been Newcastle are pushing hard. Newcastle are offering the money. Newcastle want an answer. Newcastle want Sesko. And every single update in the small print has gone, Man United is still there. Man United still want him. And until I don't see that, we're still in this fight. We're still in for him. And you know what? I think this is a great way of looking at it. How would you feel if we were in Newcastle's shoes and Liverpool were in our shoes? So we're both going for a striker. Liverpool are staying quiet. They're not doing anything other than we are interested, and we're going, we'll offer you this, we'll offer you that. We really want you. We really offer you. We really want you. And I think in that case, that's a concern. Welcome to everyone who's come over from the Football Terrace. I know Terry was live a little bit earlier. I'm on his channel tomorrow for hot takes. So, yeah, I was just saying, look, we did an 8 o'clock show earlier. We know Newcastle are trying hard. We know this is an exciting deal. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. You know, the best victories are the ones where you can smell the loss. You know, the best win I ever experienced as a Man United fan was, you know, into stoppage time against Bayern Munich in '99. And it's the best victory I've ever tasted because we were so close to defeat. This is a transfer where Newcastle are trying really hard. And it will make it all the better if we can get it done. And I'm invested in that. I'm trusting United on this because it will be massively embarrassing if we don't do it. We'll have been schooled by Newcastle and we'll have to take that defeat. But as I said, I see nothing different from what I said at 8 o'clock. I'm calm. Sesko's not made his mind up. Newcastle are bidding. They're aggressive. They're trying to get it done. They're setting deadlines. You know, Leipzig want to work with them because they're going to pay big money. But ultimately, the thing that cost Arsenal with Sesko could be our friend. Sesko respected Leipzig, and he wouldn't go on strike, and he wouldn't push the price down like Gyökeres did. He has a good relationship with Leipzig. If he says, I want to go to Man United, are Leipzig going to start blocking him? That could be the play. The play could well be Furval, as Linda says, and the RB group. The play here that I think United are playing is you get Sesko, you get Sesko. And I think that's what we're doing. We have to have a play. So I am going to choose positivity at this point. I reckon United still get the deal done. All I'm saying is Jackson better stay away from our club, says 23 official. Callum says, Mark, if we're to give them a player as part of the deal, who would you prefer, Rasmus or Joshua Zirkzee? I mean, that's still possible, Callum, and nobody's even talking about it. At the end of the day, I think it would have to be Rasmus because I don't think Zirkzee's going anywhere. Out and About with Job says, people need to calm down. We have the pounds to compete and we might not need to. We know the price for the lad that went to Liverpool and still went for him as well. Out and About with Job. It's a very, very good point as well. And also, the loudest person in the room isn't always the best. Newcastle are being very loud. They're leaking a lot to the press. They're telling everybody everything. Man United are staying very, very quiet. If we win this, we look smooth. We look really smooth. If we lose it, we look like prats. But if we win it, we look really smooth. I think we have a wild card to offer Leipzig in the form of Rasmus, says Nick P. Diamond hands and stone face. Don't give in to pressure of Newcastle. He wants United, says Z3. They're pushing and pushing for more. Look at how Arsenal took their time and the other team knew how desperate they were. Are we that desperate? We're scared of changes, says the Moose One. Do you think we will match Newcastle's bid if Sesko chooses us or go lower, says Rangnick Reds? Well, this is an interesting point because this is where I have to read this from David Ornstein and say, what are your thoughts on this? Benjamin Sesko is wanted by Manchester United, but a proposal has yet to arrive from Old Trafford, and the figures they have indicated a willingness to pay are lower than what Newcastle are willing to pay. This is why, you know, again, I don't know what United's play is. It might be a shit one. I don't know what it is. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you can go to Leipzig and say we're going to pay less than Newcastle and get the player. I don't know. But having said that, the special relationship might be something to do with that as well. Look, Leipzig are going to... Look, if I'm Leipzig, right, and I know that if Sesko says Man United are one of the special clubs and I've got to sell him for 60 million, but Newcastle aren't one of the special clubs and they're willing to give me 69, sounds good. I'm going to want him to go to Newcastle because I get £9 million more. So, of course, Leipzig are going to want him to go to Newcastle. But Man United, why are we offering less? There must be a reason for that. And we have to wait and see it develop. Do you think we'll match Newcastle's bid? That was Rangnick Reds. I really want Sesko to come to United and Bruno in yesterday's game, says Callum. Don't be too confident, Mark. This will blow out on your face sooner, bro. We need a midfielder to make our attack function. And instead of Sesko with no service, says Jocelyn. Mate, it doesn't... How does it blow up in my face? I'm not the CEO. I'm not the owner. I'm just a fan who trusts that United have a plan. And if he goes to Newcastle, I will applaud Newcastle. And they will banter the shit out of us, but I will applaud them and move on to criticising our club for something that is inexplicable. And that is why I don't think that's going to happen. I'm convinced he will end up at Man United because I believe we have a plan and I believe that Sesko wants to come to us. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's up to you. But it doesn't blow up in my face because I'm not the person who is negotiating this deal. Sesko is not a 90 million player. No, he's not, Francisco. I mean, look, you know what? It's late. I'm not going to be live for long. But some people are thick as shit. And I'm sorry to be that blunt. I don't like saying that. But some people are thick as shit. We're not paying £90 million. Newcastle are not paying £90 million. They're not even paying €90 million. They're paying €80 million, and then there's €10 million in add-ons. And €80 million is £69 million. People are literally adding 21 million quid on. It's £69 million. That's the bid. Nothing more, nothing less. There are add-ons, but it's £69 million. People are all over X going, we should walk away. We shouldn't pay £90 million. It's way too much. And you know what? I think it's the way brains work. I don't think people understand currency. And I don't think people understand exchange rates. And they're quoting £90 million. It's £69 million. It's less than what Liverpool paid for Ekatike by quite a bit. Newcastle offering the price the clubs have agreed behind the scenes. Sesko agrees to United and we pay up. Deal done. High press football only works with a brick wall in centre midfield. No point getting Sesko for the graveyard shifts as Keel. That's a completely separate argument, mate. I'm not here to discuss that. That's more of an 8 o'clock show comment because that's a community thing. I'm here to talk about Newcastle bidding and whether Man United should bid. You know, fan theory that we should go for a midfielder instead of a striker. You're not on the board. You're not a CEO. It's just an opinion. We're not doing that. We've publicly said we want a striker, and that striker is Sesko. Whether you think we should go for a midfielder or whether I think we should go for a midfielder is completely and utterly irrelevant because we're not doing that. I wonder if we are one of those special clubs since Newcastle is increasing the offer, says Tony. I suspect that's our play. Kieran Paris says 68 million plus 8 millions in add-ons for 13 goals in 33 games. Another prospect player. We've learnt absolutely nothing if we bid that. Kieran, I don't want to sit you down, but you might want to go and have a look at what Isak's record was in Spain before they bought him. We're not a serious football club. We're a serious business that is also involved in football. A new keeper is worth more points than a striker, says Pete. Read what I said to Kale. I understand the need for a striker, but I'd rather loan someone and focus on CM. Read what I said to Pete. It's the snail. We should not walk away yet. Newcastle tactic clearly to drive the price up to prices out. Newcastle showing everyone they're as desperate as Bonnie Blue, says Swanee. Our tactic is wanting Sesko to say once United. That's all we've got. Surely that's not our plan, says David. Sesko says he wants Man United. He tells Leipzig it's one of the special clubs. We pay 65 million instead of 69. It's not a bad plan. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to come off, but I reckon that could well be the plan. The special club thing is real as well. It came from Fabrizio. And the special club thing is dictated to by Sesko. Potentially lost Sesko because we were on tour. Poor, says Alan. Manchester United Football Club, slow as molasses, says Yasso. I thought it was 65 million plus 5 million add-ons for Sesko's preferred choice. Up the Reds, says 23 official. Why are people so obsessed with 80, 90, 100 million euros? It's not like you have to slap the whole thing down in one suitcase. It's all spread out. I don't know. Nick, I really don't know. I don't know. I find it really strange, the amount of people who are saying we should walk away whilst we're basically walking away from a £69 million deal. Why? They weren't saying that 3 days ago. I don't get it. I don't get, like, surely we should have walked away from Mbermo for 65. No, that was a little bit too much as well. We're not paying 100 million. We're not paying 90 million. We're not paying 80 million. It's 69 million pounds. I don't know what people thought we were paying, but it was always going to be that. This is the choice the club have made. I back it. Let's get the deal done. I don't think some of our fans realise how big of a failure not signing Sesko is. We lost a transfer battle that we should have won, have no striker 2 weeks into the Prem and not even a centre midfielder or a goalkeeper, says Andre. And I think this is a great point as well. People say walk away like we haven't just wasted the last 2 weeks again. Like we haven't got time to be walking away from deals, actually. We haven't got time to be losing deals either. Newcastle offers entire fee up front in one payment, says Terra. We've got to have a play. You're panicking, I'm calm. Exactly, we're Manchester United, says the Moose One, with a demand regardless of Champions League. If Sesko wants to come, then he has to say so. It's hard to say what we need now because everyone has an issue with any opinion. The only person who should have a say is Amarim, says the Moose One. 23 official, welcome to the Members Club. Donnarumma reported price is £30 million, says Matt. Yeah, we're not here to talk about Donnarumma, are we? And I think Donnarumma's going to run his contract down. Robert McCormack says, if he has indicated he likes us, won't we have bid? Look, you're asking me to answer something I can't answer. What I can say is, my opinion is that United have got a play here, and United's play is based on confidence. I have never known Man United let David Ornstein put something out that we only want a player and still be getting exclusives. Like, if David Ornstein's put that out there and it's not true, he'll never get anything from Man United again. And he's not that type of journalist. So he's been told and verified that Man United are going all in for Sesko. Pray tell me, when have we gone all in yet? We haven't. That was the update from David Ornstein at the end of last week. Man United are all in on Sesko. Call me naive, but I think that's quite a big statement and we haven't seen the play yet. So until I've seen it, I'm still convinced we're going to get him. There's a lot of people giving up, though. I wouldn't like to be in a fight with you lot. Not against you. I mean, like, if you're on my team, I'd turn around and you'd all legged it. If Sesko goes to Newcastle, then it's the worst outcome for Newcastle and Man United. Man United lose out on a striker. Newcastle lose Isak, and Newcastle and Man United strengthen Liverpool. Surely Newcastle understand not to strengthen Liverpool more if they aspire to win the Premier League. I don't think they give a shit, Harshid. I think they know they get. Look, Isak's going to Liverpool no matter what. That's got nothing to do with Sesko. He's going to Liverpool. Watkins, it's not, no, Aditio, it's not Watkins it is. This is why I didn't want to go live tonight. People are just overreacting. Like, God. And people used to call us the negative stand. Like, people are really overreacting. Walk away. We've lost. It's £90 million. It's not £90 million. It's 69. We shouldn't walk away and we haven't bloody lost. What's the worst that could happen? If we can't get him, so be it. Will Man United grow some confidence as structural mastery? No, I think it'll be a fuckfest if we don't get him. I think if we don't get him, trust me, there's a lot of questions, but we're not at that point yet. Sesko's going to decide tomorrow. Trust and mark my words, says Tom. Bruno better not be like that in the Prem this season, says Callum. Newcastle are offering 70 million euros up front, says Lee. Will Leipzig really lose 20 million over a verbal clause, says Enrao. Mate, it's not Leipzig's choice. You can't forcefully send a player somewhere they don't want to go. I really do think people are not understanding how transfers work. If a player decides they want to go to a club and they only want to go to that club, they're basically going to that club. Newcastle wanted Mbeumo. They probably would have offered more money. Where is he now? Newcastle might have offered more money for Ekitike. Where is he now? They might have offered more money for João Pedro. Where is he now? It doesn't matter what Leipzig want if Sesko says he doesn't want to go to Newcastle. And that's the play. Let's see what happens. Delap, Gyökeres, Watkins, Ekitike. Sesko is now our fifth choice striker this summer. We have complained about signing fourth or fifth choice players for years, says Shenanigans. That's a separate point. So you're saying we shouldn't get anybody? Yeah, I agree. We're going down the list. But to be honest with you, I'd rather have Sesko over Delap and Watkins and Ekitike anyway. One Inch Wonder would rather buy a midfielder. It's irrelevant. Sesko asked clubs to give him time to decide, and all of a sudden one club puts in 2 bids and now a 48-hour deadline. Pressuring would be off-putting, surely, says Aidan. Yeah. I mean, look, it might be flattering. It might be off-putting. Play is obvious. We're not entering a bidding war. If Sesko says he wants us, Newcastle bid may be pulled, and then we are in the race alone, says R. Aviani. Reports Newcastle pushing hard, says Daniel Smith, yet Sesko still hasn't decided. Clearly not blown out of the water by their project, says Daniel. And Mark, if we're... Look, as I said, I think Daniel makes a good point. If this was Man United against... and you switched it around... and we were making bids, and he wasn't making his mind up, and the other club was staying quiet, I'd be worried. I'd be like, we've bid twice here. You know, we're making a play for him, and he isn't reacting to it. The longer it goes on, and every update still has us in the race. If we're to give them a player as part of the deal, I've done that one, haven't I? Okay. Off topic a bit, but I was impressed with yesterday's game. You can see the impact the new additions are making. If I was Sesko, it's an easy decision. This is 23 official. The special clubs clause, according to Romano, is 70 to 80 million euros base fee and 5 to 10 million in add-ons. Newcastle just bid the upper echelon of that, says Tabiso. Yeah. Yeah, look, Man United is still in the race, definitely. And McAlvis, basically, Mike drops it. He says, the reality is Sesko decides this deal. Just got to be patient until he makes that decision. And we're expecting it tomorrow. There we go. It was meant to be a quick 10 minutes. It's ended up being a half-an-hour show. Look, I'm going to get some sleep. I'm back on the 10 o'clock show. Tomorrow's clearly going to be a big day. I'm still backing United on this. Duncan says people are saying to walk away because they can't handle the pressure. Welcome to Bug School. We'll get Sesko. Welcome to Big School, says Duncan. We'll get Sesko. Yeah, I think people saying walk away when I've seen them tweeting about what a great deal it is 2 or 3 days ago, they're just panicking. I feel as relaxed and calm as I have for the last few days. Until we get the update from Man United, there's no point reacting. Trust me, if we mess this up, there'll be a reaction from all of us, but I'm not reacting on guesswork. We're still in the race. Still think we'll get him. Joseph, welcome to Members Club. Look, I thought we were going to get De Jong. We didn't. So I'm not the oracle, and neither is anybody who agrees with me. But I'm not panicking about an update that's not happened. And I'm certainly not panicking when we haven't given up. And I'm certainly not panicking when he hasn't accepted Newcastle's bid either. So I think we're okay. I think he'll end up at United, and I think that's the right choice. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Make sure you subscribe and try to relax and stop talking about walking away. And please stop saying it's £90 million. It's £69 million. Take care. It's not a hard number to remember, 69. You should have happy thoughts thinking about 69. It's 69 million that Newcastle have offered. There are add-ons, but the base is 69 million, not 90. Thank you very much. Good night. Stay safe. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.